Hey guys, this is Segef with Frontlinetactic, showing off quest playthrough with Goretar here as the background. And I wanted to go off of a little list of things that I like, would looking forward to, as well as dislike about ESO. So let's just start off with the things that I do like. The look and the feel. Traditional fantasy, it's believable armor and weapons. It's realistic looking, so to speak. They're not overly flashy. A lot of games and MMOs will just make ridiculous items and armor that it's unbelievable. And this helps with the immersion. And they worked very hard on trying to make this an immersive game. With part of their design is that you don't know where a player and an NPC start sometimes. You just see a person running along, and sometimes you gotta double check to see, if that person is a player or NPC. I like that, as well as voice dialogue, and so you can kind of get the accents of the culture and things like that. So it really just kind of helps draw you in, and makes it very recognizable to games like Skyrim, where you've already heard these people talk before, and so it's very familiar and just sucks you in. Combat starting to feel more impactful and weighty. You kind of you feel satisfied when you hit a person with a power strike or a skill, but it could be improved upon. I like how everyone can sneak. It's interesting to see how this is going to impact PvP. Skills do make you feel like you have some power. You're wielding some power, and some skill, but they don't put you in a point that you feel just overpowerful and like you're not like running around like bloody He-Man, just blowing up stuff or like punching people through mountains. Crafting. I already did a video about it, about how I like it, but I will still put my 2 cents here. It feels very productive and meaningful. It's easy to understand and gather, as well as recipes are also very easy to decipher and understand. Gear that you make is better or competitive or comparable to anything that you'll find in the world, as well as quest rewards. So I like that a lot. Granted, I may be completely wrong with dungeons, which I'll go on to that in a second. And then classes. Love how they designed the classes to be flexible with options, no weapon or armor restrictions. Uh, it will be very interesting to see what people do. Will they stick to the generalized iterations of previous games where it's like this is a warrior, this is a rogue, this is a mage, this is the healer, this is this and that and that? Or are we going to see some really interesting hybrids and class builds? Alright, now let's go into things that I'm looking forward to. PvP. I'm interested to see how balanced it's going to be with the different classes, and like, are we going to be stuck with the generalized class roles? Like, that's a warrior, two-handed warrior, go. Two-handed warrior is going to win. Are we going to have rock paper scissors? I'm interested to see it because I've not done PvP, and I'll go into that in a minute of why that is. I'm excited to experience the excitement and the awesomeness and nostalgia of Dark Age of Camelot style siege warfare. Um, it's possibly my funnest. That was possibly my most enjoyable PvP experience in an MMO ever. That style of PvP makes you feel productive and meaningful. It's goal oriented, and it's not a bunch of just mindless killing. Like, kill these players like 1,000 times until you win. So many tokens or valor points, and then you're able to buy awesome gear. No, the Daok did have that, but you still felt like you were working towards a greater goal with your server, with your community, to basically take keeps, take relics, take a hold of locations. And then end game. This is many of the times what makes or breaks an MMO success. We've seen it in numerous times where games have ended up going to free to play basically because they have a lack of end game. And I am a big subscriber fan. That I believe that if you are able to sub a game, you will be able to make more quality of patches and content later on down the road versus the free to play models. Which I'm not going to beat that horse anymore. And I'm really curious to see what those options are going to be for endgame. Is it going to be just the PvP sieges, or is there's going to be raid and dungeons? So which brings me on to raids and dungeons. How different and unique will they going to be? How dynamic and challenging are the bosses? Are there going to be puzzles? I understand they're going to do group, or sorry, solo dungeons, as well as public dungeons, so anyone can walk in there, kind of like an old EverQuest 1 style, or is it going to be instanced? I believe it's somewhat going to be instanced as well, which is going to be more of your like World of Warcraft and various other more modern day MMOs do that. Uh, and which goes back to my end game success rant, is like good end game rating is going to carry a game. It's going to make people excited to take on foes, as well as PvE. I believe is just as important, if not more important, than PvP, in my opinion. I do understand that people do competitive PvP, but I think if you look at the statistics, I don't have those statistics, but my personal opinion and my perspective is that majority percentage of players are in a game for the PvE experience. Now let's go on to things that I don't like. Classes. I know I said it, but only really, guys, 4 classes. That's it. I know there's a lot of options, but I would like more diversity, more options. That's just me. I'm that guy. I just love more customability and options and ideas that we can come up with. But I understand that this may create a problem in the notion of becoming flexible. If you can just cross class design, as well as what makes that class unique versus that class, and balancing issues. I understand that, but I would like to see some more classes come out, either at launch or in future patches. Combat. Yes, I know I said that I liked it, but I would like them to see it tightened up. Possibly the best combat animations I've ever seen was in Old Republic MMO. Parries, blocks, hits, dodges, everything. It felt like you were actually in the combat, and I think if they can really ratchet that down, it'll completely help with the immersion that some people are arguing about. Even though I'd say this game is quite immersive, I think if they can tighten the combat animations, it will make it that much more immersive and just draw people in and actually fall in love with their classes and the choices that they make that much more. Bonus races option hidden behind a paywall. It's a sub game, guys. This is another dead horse. I don't feel like beating too much because I know a lot of people have. I hope this kind of thing is released later on in future access / quests, or earned from some achievement, that you're able to get this paywall. I understand that they're a business and they need to make money, but come on, guys, you don't need to gouge us. I have no problem doing a quest chain to unlock the Imperials. I have no problem doing, like, you have to kill the end game boss to unlock this stuff, or level a character to max level. I'm completely cool with those requirements or achievements in order to possibly do this kind of thing. And stability. Now, this is where I was talking about where, like, hey guys, I'll talk about the grouping, dungeons, and PvP here later, because I was not able to really experience it. There was something going on. I had numerous connection issues. I kept getting the ESO has stopped working error. I understand a lot of people have done it. I've gone to the forums, was not able to get anyone to really help me out or discern what this was about. The closest thing I was able to discover was that it was possibly an issue with the DirectX 9.0C and XP users. And I'm still currently using XP. I know I stated that I have Windows 8.1. I got it for my birthday, but I want to do some changes to my rig first. Before I continue on with that. But this makes me hesitant because there are a lot of people that are still using XP, and if this is and the requirements state that it's XP friendly, and so it makes me hesitant to buy the game in the near future, because if it's not going to be playable when I go to play it, and this game releases next month, if this issue is not fixed, then that does me no good. That screws me over. And then closing. Thank you guys for listening to me rant. If you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Um, because I mean, it's these rants are for you guys, and to help you guys think and help you guys become more informed about games in general, as well as the news that's going on, or my personal opinion. Who doesn't like to be heard? But please subscribe, follow, and share. If you do that for me, please. Info is going to be in the section below. And remember, guys, stay safe in the front lines. Night.